Hey, welcome to Double G's Garage. So today we're going to talk about home and garage security and specifically about Wyze cams. Here's my first camera mounted on the front of the garage. Maybe a little bit hard to see, but if you look very closely up under the eave, I'll get a close-up shot here in a minute. They're black, so they're hard to see. So I've got one. I'll give you some pictures and show you what it looks like, but it's shooting down my driveway and it gives me the front of my garage. Here's the indoor shot. If you watch my other videos, you've seen the garage door installation for roll-up doors. You can go check that video out, but you can barely see just above the garage door opener. I'll zoom in here in a second. The wire coming in for the Wyze cam that's on the front of the garage. Again, just a flat USB that plugs into any 110. Here's my close-up shot. Again, that camera, let me walk out here and show you. It's gonna be kind of glare because the sun's so bright today, but hopefully you can make it out. Up there at the eave, got my Wyze cam. Kind of hard to see with the glare, but all I did was run the wire in. It comes in right next to the roof line where there's an opening, and it comes down and it plugs into a simple 110 outlet. And it comes with all the adapters. It comes with the USB and of course the adapter for the 110. And then I'll walk around the side here and I'll show you another one. So this one I've got mounted on the side of the garage. You can kind of get an idea of it. Up there, again, I'll give you a shot of what the actual picture looks like from the Wyze cam. You know, I've got some white ones that I have next to the trim on the house. I've got some black ones next to the trim on the garage just because they match. They blend in really well. And of course, the Wyze cams are magnetic, so they stick to metallic surfaces, really easy to mount. And then, of course, they're wired cameras. They have to be plugged in. Simple, flat USB cable. I would guesstimate they're about 6 foot long. I'm sure you could put extensions on them if you needed to run it longer. But of course, these are high enough up. I got, I believe, 9-foot walls on the side of my garage here. I'm 6'3", and I could probably not reach it without a ladder. So it's not going anywhere. Nobody's going to take it away. And then I'm gonna go over some of the features and tell you, you know, it's got, you know, every feature you can imagine in a camera, and the price range is just so economical. Why would you get anything else? And no, these are not outdoor cameras. I know I've heard some discussion about that, but I've got it mounted under an eave, and this is probably the wettest side. This is like the north side, facing north on the side of my house. The eave is not very long here. Water actually pours off of my metal roof on the garage here, and so it's quite a wet area. I don't know that the camera gets soaked because it's under the eave, but it is in an environment where it could get very wet. And I've had no problems with it all. Had it out for several months, and I guess my thought process is, for $19.99, if it fails, I'll buy another one. And I know I have some friends that bought these, and they bought the urethane or plastic covers to go on top of them. But you know what? The plastic covers cost almost as much as the camera. So for $19.99, if it tears up, I'll throw it away. I'll get another one. But so far, so good. I think Wyze is eventually going to come out with an outdoor rated camera that I guess would have some waterproofing in there. But again, I've had no problem with either camera on the front or the side or the front of my house, or I'll show you the one that I have on the back is the upgraded pan and zoom. So here's my back door Wyze camera. This is the upgraded pan, zoom, tilt. It actually has a motor on it. It moves. Again, I could do a better job on the install. I need a longer USB for it, and it's not real secure. But back here where the dogs are, I don't think anybody's going to come back here and try to remove the camera. Sorry for the background noise, but again, you can mount them upside down like I did this one. It's actually mounted upside down, and then you can rotate the image 180 degrees so that it displays normally when I'm looking at it. And again, I'll show you some shots from this camera so you can kind of see what it looks like. Of course, these cameras here, the smaller ones, don't pan, but they do zoom. All of them are recordable. All of them have microphones and speakers built into them. And I'll go down the list of features here and show you what they're all about. But great security for my garage. Here's the camera that I have mounted next to my front door. And if you look real close, if I can zoom in, this one I simply mounted to the corner of the glass. They supply a metallic disc with some double-sided tape on there. You can stick it on the glass, and then it's got a very flat USB cable that I simply ran down the corner of the window and plugged it in to an outlet on the inside. And it's fairly high up, so it would take a little bit for somebody to take it down. I mean, I'm sure they could if they really wanted to, but again, these aren't outdoor cameras, but I've had them outdoor for several months, and at $20 a piece or $19.99, who cares? I mean, I'll buy another one if it fails due to weather, but under the eave, it seems to work really well. So some of the key features on the Wyze cam, again, these are the version 2, the smaller ones, not the pan and zooms, but the again, $19.99. They do integrate and work with Alexa, so you can set it up to have Alexa pull up a live feed from your camera. It works with Echo Spot, Echo Show, Fire TV, so different smart home devices. It also does have motion tagging, so you can track down. I'm going to embed, and I'll show you a video where it actually recorded an event because I had the camera set up for motion tagging, and it recorded an event, and it showed my dog walking up on the back deck. So it does have some great technology for that, so it can capture and replay events, and you have all kinds of features you can set up as far as what you want it to capture and what events trigger the capture. It is 1080p full HD live streaming, recording, and playback, and it does have good HD resolution. You can see in the examples that I'm putting there. You can toggle between SD and HD if you need to, depending on how good your internet is. Now, one thing to keep in mind, a couple different ways to store your recordings. Internal memory SD card, 32 gig, will give you approximately 2 weeks, depending on how many motion tags and events you have set up, and that's just a guesstimation. What it'll do is it'll rewrite over once it fills up if necessary. Without the SD card, it has some internal memory. I'm not sure how much, but it won't store as much as far as events and capture. You can also, I turned it on for about 90 days, but I think they give you a feature where for $1.99 a month, you can store the videos to the cloud and not have to worry about having the internal onboard SD cards and all that. So it's fairly reasonable if you want to have cloud storage. Live streaming, so obviously you can, I can show you on mine where I can see all 4 cameras. I can, touch each camera individually and activate it, and I can see a live stream. Also, it does have two-way voice and sound, so I can actually talk. There's speakers built in, and I can actually hear what's going on. Also, I could trigger off of sounds. It also has a nice security feature where it'll trigger off of smoke or CO2 alarms. It does have night vision, so you can see really well at night. It does have the infrared light that you can choose to turn on or off. Again, the only thing I've noticed, if you're trying to mount it inside of a glass, it could reflect off the glass, so you need to mount it where it's not going to have a reflective material in front of it at night, or it'll bounce the infrareds off of it. Does give you real-time push alerts, so you can send notifications out, again, to your smartphone for either motion or sound when it's detected. It does have what's called smart sound recognition, so Wyze recognizes unique sounds like I said earlier, smoke alarms or CO2 monitors, and alerts you that those have gone off. They do give you, like I said earlier, free 14-day cloud storage, and then you have the option to get it. I believe it's $199 a month. It is secure cloud storage. They do use encryption for uploading and storing it, so it is a secure data transfer. Continuous recording, it can record and store to the micro SD card. Again, you do have to buy those separately. When it fills up, older files are overwritten. Like I said earlier, two-way audio and microphone. It does have time lapse where you can set the frames and intervals and create custom time lapse videos. It does put a date and time stamp on there, and it does store it on that micro SD card. Sharing, you can use the Wyze app, and if you have multiple people you want to share the videos with, or multiple users in your household, you just send out a share to an email address, and if they've got the Wyze app, they can accept the share, and then they can have the same access to the cameras that you have. The camera can move around and adjust and be raised up and down, and again, it can be mounted completely upside down, and then you go in with the app and adjust it 180 degrees to turn the picture over. It does have a magnetic base and several different options. You can screw it into a wood fixture. You can mount it directly to a metal fixture with the magnet that's built into the bottom, or it does have a adhesive backed metallic disc like I used at the front of the house for mounting the cam to something like I did on the window glass. Well, that's about it on the Wyze cams and garage security. Hopefully you like what you saw. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more content, both on repairing cars, motorcycles, and just general garage talk. But thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.